Hi students, how are you? Today we are going to discuss under fluid connective tissue is blood platelets. Blood platelets. What are these platelets? Are they truly formed elements? No, they're not truly formed elements, my dear, but they're cells, blood platelets. See, for example, RBC is a cell, but why all the cell organelles are absent in it? Only hemoglobin is present artificially. So RBC is not a true cell, even platelets are coming from where? RBCs. Breakdown of RBCs that leads to platelets. These are colorless, non-nucleated, round or biconvex shape or disc shape. Generally, how many number of platelets are present? About very less count, 250k or 250,000 to 450,000. They are formed from where? They are formed from gained megakaryocytes produced in red bone marrow by fragmentation. I repeat, megakaryocytes. They are formed from what? Gained means big size megakaryocytes produced in red bone marrow by fragmentation. Sir, and what is the lifespan of this? It is about 5 to 9 days. It's a very less half time. When comparing to WBC, it is better. WBC is just 2 to 3 days, 1 week, like that. It's on average 9 days it is present. By this you can understand what is meant by platelets. Sir, what will happen if platelets are more in the body? It might cause any clot formations in any part of the body that stops the circulation, that stops the functions. For example, if a clot present in the brain that leads to paralysis, if a clot that occurs in the blood vessels, blood circulation is stopped over there, some like a tremor like sensation will be occurring on the legs or in the hands. A clot occurs in the heart that leads to heart attack. Then blood clotting is also required wherever the leakages are present to cover it like a gun. But nowadays, a dengue fever is there. This dengue fever, what does it mean is, dengue fever, if the platelet count is less, the person is suffering with what? This, maybe he might be confirmed that platelet count is less. Okay. Blood platelets are also called as what? Thrombocytes. Now, the mechanism of blood clot. It's a very important question, surely for NEET and NCERT. Now coming to the topic, NEET ki romba mukyam nana. This question is, when there was a puncture in the skin or injured tissue, RBC comes out. Along with RBC, a protein known as thromboplastin will come. This thromboplastin converts prothrombin into thrombin. Thrombin converts fibrinogen into fibrin. Fibrin plus injured tissue causes blood clot. It's a very important question for NEET point of view, aims and everything. So I repeat again, injured tissue, the damaged skin that releases the blood, that releases a protein thromboplastin. That thromboplastin, what does it do? Which will convert, it's a protein, my dear, it's a protein which converts prothrombin into thrombin. This thrombin converts fibrinogen into fibrin. Fibrin plus damaged tissue is called as what? Blood clot. This is how mechanism occurs. Understand, Nana? But during the time of accidents or hemorrhageal conditions, if there is no blood clot, overloss of blood leads to hemorrhage. What is it called as? Hemorrhage. That time, these blood platelets are very important, my dear, which will form a clot on the place where it is. Okay? By this. By what test we can do is clotting test. We'll be doing this method. What is this clotting test? We have to take a capillary tube. We have to puncture the skin. Okay? And we have to suck the blood or pump the blood into the capillary tube, and we have to do like this, giving little vibration onto the capillary tube. After 1 minute, we have to leave it aside. For every 30 seconds, you have to break tick, tick. But 1 minute, within 1.5 minutes, what happens is there is a fibrin thread-like structure will come out. That is what fibrin is. Okay, thank you. Next, under fluid connective tissue, we are going to learn about very important thing, that is lymph. So what is lymph? Now the blood vascular system is there. It takes care of the upper part of the body, upper part of the organ system. Then how the lower part of the body gets up oxygen, nutrients? How can we get that unwanted waste from the lower part of the body? That is because of lymphatic system. What is lymphatic system? In a simpler one word is, to the deeper part of the body, circulation has to be happen. That is what lymphatic system is. It is a colorless fluid. It lacks RBC, platelets and plasma proteins. RBC will be less, platelets will be less, plasma proteins are less. It has more amount of leukocytes. N number of leukocytes are more in here. It contains very, very small amount of nutrients and oxygen. But it has abundant number of carbon dioxide and other metabolites. This one thing you have to remember. Okay, it contains more amount of what? Abundant amount of carbon dioxide and other metabolites. Let's come on to this step. The most important site for the formation of lymph is interstitial space, means tissue, the space between the cells. As the blood passes through the capillaries, I already discussed you what is a capillary. The branch of arteries is called as an arterioles and the branch of veins is called as venule. The point where the join is called as a capillary. As the blood passes through the blood capillaries, some portions of blood include water, solutes, proteins of low molecular weight passes through these capillaries into the interstitial space due to hydrostatic pressure at the arteriolar end. Most of the interstitial fluid is returned directly to the capillaries due to osmotic pressure at the venular end. Okay, and the little amount of this tissue passes through a system of lymph capillaries. Then lymph capillaries joins to form lymph vessels. Lymph vessels joins to form lymph duct. Lymph duct joins to form opens into subclavian vein, which is located here near the thoracic region. In a diagrammatic way, we will discuss right now. This is an artery. This is the branch of an artery. This is vein. This is the branch of the vein which is called as venule. This is venule. This is arteriole. And this to the point where the joining is called as what? Capillary. These capillaries which opens into lymphatic system. That is lymph, which opens into lymphatic system, that is lymph capillaries. These capillaries like this, lymph capillaries. This lymph capillaries joins to form lymph vessels. Lymph vessels joins to form lymph duct, and that opens into subclavian vein. So arteriole and venule joining is called as a capillary. That capillary opens into lymph capillaries. From this lymph capillary it opens into lymph vessels. Lymph vessels opens into lymph duct. Lymph duct opens into lymphatic system. With this the topic is completed of lymphatic system. Now, yesterday some important thing I want to tell you. If there is an inflammation in the lymphatic system, that leads to elephantiasis. Because of what? Filarial elephantiasis. Because of filarial worm. You have to understand this. Now, coming to the topic, nervous tissue. We'll be discussing a mild information about this here. The longest cell of the body is called as nervous tissue. Longest cell of the body is called as nervous tissue, which is always derived from ectodermal in origin. In nervous tissue, and the structural and functional unit of nervous tissue is called as neuron. Neuron has nerve cell. This is called as axon. This is called as dendrites. Dendrites. What is, I repeat, Nanand, the structure, a neuron usually have three parts. One is dendrites, nerve cell, axon. We'll be learning in depth in neural control and coordination about this, but in the part of structural organization in animals, we have to discuss in a simpler manner. Dendrites. These are shorter packages, short in number, short in their size, many in number, but branched. The main function of the dendrites is to receive the information from pre-neurons and send the information to the nerve cell. From the nerve cell, it sends them. What is the nerve cell? This is called as cell brain. Nerve cell, it is also called as perikaryon.